And then we're just sitting up nice and tall. And if you want to sit on a cushion, I am actually sitting on a cushion to start with. Well, I'm sitting on a block today. I like to always elevate my hips. And then when I elevate my hips, that kind of gives me that lift up through my body. Because sometimes if I'm sitting down on my bottom without any elevation, sometimes I can find myself slightly slumping forward. So what I like to do is I like to sit up nice and tall, and by using a block. And that actually has a massive effect on our body. And this is today is a yoga for mindfulness, and I wanted to talk about how our body relates to our mind and our mind relates to our body as well. Because a lot of the time, like I said, even just with if you slump down, that can kind of make you feel quite down. And if you lift up, it can make you feel quite positive. And there's been loads and loads of tests as well where they kind of have people, and they have two groups of people, and they ask them to come in, and one who's sort of like are depressed and they know depressed, and people who aren't depressed, and they just watch the way they walk. And usually people who are depressed slightly lean forward, slightly slow, they don't swing their arms quite so much. And then when they have the people who aren't suffering from any depression, and then they come in and they kind of like more upright, lifting up through their chest, swinging their arms and walking kind of like more powerfully. So we can actually simulate. So if we are feeling a bit low, if we actually just pull our body up and just walk in sort of a more positive and assertive way, that can actually have a massive effect on our body and on our way we're feeling as well. So it's kind of like just learning to be aware of how your body feels. And there's also been, I've been reading up about all these experiments they've been doing, and they had some people in, and they'd asked one load of people to watch cartoons with a pencil in their mouth, and they were holding it, and they had to purse their lips, and as they did, they were like frowning as well. And then they had another lot of people who put a pencil between their teeth, and so that simulates a smile. So, and then they all watched the same cartoons, and then they asked the people how to rate them, how funny they found them. The people who were simulating the smile found them a lot funnier than the people who were having to purse their lips to hold the pencil. So it's just the mind and the body work together, because we always think about, trying to work and lift our spirits with our yoga. But also it can work the other way. If we're feeling a bit low, it can kind of just make us feel a bit bleh. And then also, and that can affect everything. It can even affect like your taste. So something you really enjoy, if you're feeling a bit low and you eat that and you think, oh, I don't really like that quite so much as I usually do. And it's just the way your whole body kind of, if we're feeling low, that can have a massive effect on our posture, on the, and just everything really, and what we eat and what we look at and how we perceive things. And then if we're feeling happier and in good spirits, then we kind of, that affects us, it affects all our body as well. So our mind affects our body and our body affects our mind. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So it's just about being mindful about how you are. And also throughout the week I've been talking about how other people's moods and how they talk to you, that can really affect you as well. So a lot of people are sort of quite down at the moment, which is kind of understandable in some ways, but we've got to kind of think how we feel. We don't need to go along with the herd. We need to kind of really check in with how we're feeling about it, because we might be feeling quite okay with everything, but it's just everyone else is sort of going, oh God this, oh God that, and it kind of makes you just go along with the crowds. So, but I want you just to, as I said the other day, just light your candle and shine your candle. And if you come across an unlit candle, light it up. And even that's just by a smile as well. So just smiling, being happy, just even if you just bring a big smile to your face now. That's a big cheesy grin. And that kind of just makes you feel, it makes you kind of like lift up. And it's lovely to see all those smiling faces back as well. So we're going to be mindful of our body, and if there's any pose in our practice today that we think, oh God, just rest down, take a little lower practice in that as well, and just thinking that if something doesn't feel right, then we rest down, then we don't press ourselves into something, and then we won't feel low that we can't get into something, if that makes sense. Right, okay, so we're going to start, as I said, seating. Sit up nice and tall, lift the shoulders, roll the shoulders, and sit on, elevate yourself up if you haven't already. And then we're going to just let the hands come up, bring the fingers together, the forefinger and the thumb together. And we're going to lift up through the body, and as we lift up, roll the shoulders and kind of feel that you're breathing up from the navel all the way up to the throat. And then as we exhale, just allow that breath just to drop all the way down to the navel. And again, breathing in. Now let the eyes close if you haven't already. Let the eyes close. Just very gently bring the corners of your mouth up. You don't have to do a big cheesy grin, just a slight smile, bring that to your face. And focus on your breath here. Be mindful of your breath and just see how that breath fills your body from your belly, your ribs. And as it does, just notice how you kind of elevate up through the spine with that breath as we breathe in. And then as we exhale, keep the chest elevated so you draw that awareness down. And I always like to think of that heart shape from below my navel. I come up, I breathe out into my ribs, right up to my collarbones. And then exhale down the centre of my heart, down to my root. And then again, so drawing that heart shape around the body. And just allowing yourself to expand out. Take one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart, so we can really feel that breath and where it is in our body. And just feel yourself dropping into the earth, but also elevating. And as you lift your heart, feel your spirit lift. So in yoga we call this Jiva Mukti. So you might have heard of Jiva Mukti. There's Jiva Mukti Yoga as well. And Jiva is our spirit. And Mukti is this like liberating energy, this upward energy. And just allow yourself to center, to ground. And then from here, taking both hands, lift both arms up towards the sky. Stretch and lift and elevate. Lift up into those fingers. As we exhale, we're going to rotate over to the right hand side, just looking over that right shoulder. And then breathe in, lifting both arms all the way up. Exhale and coming over to the other side. Rolling those shoulders, looking over that left shoulder. And then breathe in, lifting those arms all the way up. Exhale. Now we're going to take the left hand onto the left knee. The right hand comes down onto the floor. And then just draw that left shoulder over to the right side of the body. So we're kind of getting a deeper twist through the body here. Push down into that left knee. And then breathe in, lift up, but keeping the hands. So we're going to go again on that side. So breathe in. As you exhale, just twist it through. And then breathe in and lifting all the way up. Lift both arms up towards the sky, rotating over to the left. Then bring the left hand down, the right hand comes on the knee. Breathe in, lengthen. And then as we exhale, just take this right elbow down towards that left knee. And looking over the shoulder. And then again, breathing in, lifting up. And again, exhale. And just easing down. And breathe in and lifting. Bring both arms up towards the sky. Linking those fingers, Sarahara Mudra, as we push those hands up stretching and lengthening. Exhale, taking those hands all the way down onto the knees. And then we're going to come into a nice circle. So come over to the left maybe to start with, doesn't really matter which way. And then we're going to ease around, pull back, pull up through the belly, and kind of like churning through the lower back, through the hips. And feel that you're isolating, so the chest and heart comes forward, and then the chest rolls back. So we've got a nice movement going on in the body there. Just rounding, stretching, lengthening. And then come back in the opposite direction, circling round. And just easing through. And then come back to the centre. Round through, just think about the back rounding through, dropping the chin down, and then breathe in and lifting the chest. Bring the chest forward, dipping down, and then rolling back through the body. Just roll all the way back. And breathe in, lifting the chest and the heart. Exhale, come forward. And just curling all the way round and through. And breathe in and lifting the chest. Come forward and exhale. And rounding all the way through. Lifting up, we're going to extend the legs out to the sides. Now you might want to use your strap. You don't necessarily need to use the strap, but some of you might feel, so if you've got a strap around, you can use that. And again, just having those hips elevated just allows me to get a better flexion into those hips as I come up nice and high. Now, it depends, you don't have to take legs really wide. I'm quite happy with my legs about this wide. They don't really go much further, to be quite honest. So, and then you can actually take the thighs and you can give them a little bit of a movement and just kind of roll them inwards. So you kind of pull the thighs out and make sure you're sitting right on those seated bones there. So from here, we're going to breathe in, lift those arms up towards the sky. Exhale, rotating all the way round. Come round, look over to that right shoulder. And then breathe in, coming all the way up, rotating round, exhale, and rotating over to the opposite shoulder, the left shoulder. And then from here, breathe in, lifting all the way up, rotate to the right, and now just I'm going to take my left hand onto the left thigh, and I'm going to drop my left shoulder over towards my right hip. And now I'm going to just ease over. So I feel that kind of really lengthening into that lower back there. And then breathe in and coming up, lifting those arms up, rotating over. Exhale, taking the right hand onto the right thigh. And then just easing, but keeping that right buttock on the floor as well as we just rotate and twist through. And then breathe in and lifting all the way up. We're going to take the hands together and we're going to circle through. So just be mindful of your back and what's going on in your back. If you've got a bit of a twingy back, you might not want to take this quite so deep. But if you're feeling fine, you might want to skim the toes, skim the other toes, and then come back. And just taking it, or you might just want to take in a little circle here in front of you. And again, just churning through and then coming back. This is called churning the butter. And then coming back round the opposite direction. Great for pregnant women. Any of you out there pregnant? I can see a few smiles there. And then just coming through. And then breathe in and come through. Take the hands onto the knees. Bring the chest and the heart forward. Exhale, round back. And then breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. Lean forward. And just allowing yourself to come forward. It doesn't matter how far you come forward, we're all going to be so different here. And we're stretching out into the inner thighs, keeping the chest and the heart coming forward. And then exhale and releasing through. We're going to turn onto this right leg now. So I often kind of like just adjust into my left leg so that I've got that movement here. And then lift those arms up towards the sky. And you can use your strap here if you want to use your strap. And then we're going to fold down over that right leg. Keeping that left buttock on the floor, because I know sometimes that left buttock wants to kind of lift up, and the left thigh might want to lift up. So just see if you can get that left thigh down onto the floor. And as we pull the chest and the heart forward, we kind of shift forward and then exhale. It doesn't matter, you can get your head right down to the knee, or you can just move, but just be aware of those shoulders are scrunching up by those ears. If those shoulders are scrunching up by the ears, that kind of brings us into that feeling quite down position. And we grow the neck like a tortoise there, and then just easing all the way over. And then breathe in and lift in all the way up. We're going to take the left arm, just take the left arm to the back. And if you're using your strap, you can still use your strap. And then we're going to come down and taking that arm all the way over. Lovely. So you can use your strap, and you can even use your strap into the left hand if you want to, just by lifting the arm up and over. But otherwise, you can hold the foot and just ease all the way over. And then breathe in, lifting all the way up. Now take the right hand onto the left thigh, and then exhale and draw that shoulder down to the inner thigh if possible. You might notice that you can come a little bit lower as we just hold it here. And then from here, breathing in and lifting all the way up. And we're kind of hopefully facing down towards that left leg. So bring both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. And if you want to use your strap, you can use your strap around the foot. That just works as extension as your arms. Just adjust here, because I just need a little bit of an adjustment. And then lower yourself down onto that left leg. And keeping those legs nice and wide as we fold through, and keeping that chest lifted. And remember, we don't have to come all the way down. Wherever you are, you might not need to strap, you might be able to hold onto your toes, but always keeping that right buttock just rolling down. Just be aware of where those shoulders are. Are we kind of slumping through our body? Or are we keeping that fire coming up through the belly and up through the chest and the throat and the crown of the head? And then from here, breathing in, lifting all the way up. We're going to lift the arms up, rotating through, taking that left hand onto the left leg, and then exhale and just ease over. Wherever you come to, you might even be able to get the elbow down, you might be able to hold onto the feet, or you might be just anywhere on that arc there. It doesn't matter, wherever you are, we're looking for that stretch. Keep those shoulders away from the ears and pull the chest up, feel your spirit lift. And then just easing into it. And then from here, breathing in, lifting those arms all the way up. Exhale, let that left hand drop down onto the right thigh. And then exhale, drawing the shoulder down. But keep the shoulder away from the ear, because it's the temptation to kind of just drop into the ear. Keep those side ribs nice and long here as well if possible. As we stretch through. And then from here, breathe in and lifting all the way up. Bring both hands down by the sides. Bring the legs together, and you might feel that. That's just the muscles coming back. We've got a big muscle called brachialis muscle that kind of comes all the way up, comes up around the pelvic floor, up to the part of the pelvic floor, and then down into the other side. So just taking those legs, bring the legs together. Feel yourself lifting nice and tall. And then we're going to bring the right leg in. So just bringing that right leg in. We're going to pop that right leg over the left leg and sit up nice and tall. Exhale, rotating through, keeping the hips down, keeping the chest lifted. And just, you can hook the elbow. You can bring the arm up if you want to, or you can keep the hand down on that thigh. And then breathe in, open the chest, lifting the chest and the heart, and rotate through. And just use your breath here. Keeping that left leg, make sure that left leg's not just hanging there, it's just pushing, nice and active. And then come back to the center. We're going to take that leg and just cross that leg as if you were doing Gumakasana leg, so the right leg comes over the left knee. Lifting the chest and heart, lift those arms up towards the sky, stretch into the body, reach forward, about a 45-degree angle, not too far. If you feel you can go a little bit further, go a little bit further. And then let the hands, you might be able to come all the way down, and then letting the hands, now remember you've got a strap here, so you can use that strap around that foot if you want to. Remember, straps are an extension of our arms. And again, so if we kind of feel that we have to kind of round the shoulders to reach that toe, just think about using your strap to pull the shoulders. Let your chest and heart lift and open. Bring that lovely breath into the body. And just folding all the way down. And just holding it here. Be aware of this left leg underneath, and if you do need to put something rolled up underneath that left knee, do so. If that feels too much of an extension, because just having that other leg on top kind of is pushing down into this left leg here, and you might feel that you kind of slightly hyperextend into that left knee. And then from here, breathing in, lifting all the way up. Take hold of this right foot in that left hand. Bring that leg and take that leg over. So you're just basically lifting it, extending it. So it's still going over to the left hand side. And taking that right arm and stretching over to that right hand. Turn to the right hand. Keep the body lifted. Be aware of your kind of slouching behind that leg. And then lift and open the chest. Bring that leg round to the centre. Swapping the leg over. And just taking that arm out. Look over to that left hand. And just hold it. Keep lifting. Exhale, come back to the centre. And then lowering that leg all the way down. Sitting tall. Notice how that leg feels. Bring the other leg in. Just be aware of that knee, because as I said, sometimes we can hyperextend that leg when we have that leg out, and when we're putting pressure on it from that right leg over. So when we come over to the other side, be aware of that as well in your body. So lift and open the chest. Really feel that you're pulling up, shoulders dropping down the back. From here, we're going to rotate, and you can bring that arm over if you want to, or you can just keep that hand on the thigh. Breathe in, lengthening, exhale, and just rotating through. Look over that shoulder. Feel that twist through the abdomen. And then from here, just rotating back, taking that leg over. Now remember, if you need to have anything underneath that right leg, just make sure that you're not hyperextending into that right leg as the left leg comes over, because as we come down over that leg, we might feel that we push too much weight into it. So extend up, and again, lift the chest, lift the heart, breathe in, come forward. Now just notice how, because I know on the other side, coming forward was fine. This side, not so fine for me. So you just have to be careful, be mindful of your body. Come down a little bit further, and as soon as you feel that you need to bring the hands down to the strap or onto the foot, if you can hold the foot, just be wary of that right knee again. And just coming down. You can bring the hands, you don't have to bring the hands all the way to the foot. You don't have to use the strap. And just folding over that leg. You can really feel it's a deep hamstring stretch here. And the chest and the heart comes forward and we exhale. And then we come down. And listen to the sound of the breath, see how that breath moves in your body. And then from here we're going to breathe in, lifting up, take hold. Right hand takes on hold of the left foot. Taking the left arm out, and again be aware of your sinking down into it. Elevate your heart, and as you elevate your heart, you kind of lift and raise your spirit. Raise the corner of the lips into a lovely smile. Just enjoy this stretch. These stretches are really kind of, I should imagine most people's capability in this class, in this capability. So we just enjoy it. And then come through. Cross the legs over. Exhale. And again, make sure you're not slouching back. Keep the chest lifted. Taking the right arm out. And then just bring in the head over. And the left arm out to the left. Left leg out to the left. And the right arm out to the right. And then exhale, come back to the centre. Now bring both soles of the feet together. I'm going to just come off my cushion. So if you're on a cushion, just coming off the cushion so your bottom comes down, right the way down onto the floor. So we're going to take the toes and we're going to just bring the feet together. Bring the soles of the feet together. Lift the feet off the floor if possible. And bring in that chest forward. Lift in. Now from here we're going to take the arms underneath, bring the hands into Chin Mudra, and then just taking those toes, so we're coming into our lotus blossom, or blossoming lotus even, pose. So we're lifting, pull the chest up, soles of the feet open, and the fingers. I love this pose, I really don't do it enough. And then just lifting that chest, make sure you're not kind of collapsing into it. It should be feeling reasonably comfortable. And then exhale, taking those hands, and then lift those legs up towards the sky, stretch and open. And again, lifting in, so you're into Navasana boat pose, which you probably can't see from there, to see legs. And then just stretching. So we've done quite a bit of work into the hamstrings, so lift and lengthen. And then exhale, bring those hands through. Come over, keeping those knees wide here. And just draw the chest and the heart down towards the floor. Feel that length in the spine as we let the head drop all the way down. And just take a moment here to be still. Knees are wide and the chest and the heart are dropping into the earth. And then from here we're going to breathe in, we're going to lift up onto those hands. Now I'm going to use some blocks today, so you can use, you don't need to use anything really, because we're going to come into Malasana. So either using blocks, you can use cushions or books or anything really. And then we're going to drop back, and then I'm going to take the blocks underneath my heels. I'm probably going to need one actually, so I can get my heels on each corner. And then I'm going to just lift the chest, because sometimes when we come into Malasana, we kind of sink through and sink backwards. So I just want us to kind of lift up and use that brick to lift up, so you kind of got your toes. And you can even sit on a block if you want to. And then bring the palms together and kind of lift in that chest, open that chest up high. And push those knees out to the sides. Take those hands down onto the floor. Lift the bottom. Now push the heels back, and I've just taken my heels off that brick. But keeping that bottom low. Chest and heart comes forward. I'm going to bring that brick now underneath my left hand, and I'm going to take my right arm up towards the sky. Twist and look up to that right hand. Keep the bottom nice and low. Exhale, take this right hand round behind the back. Take that left hand round behind the left leg so you bind. Okay, remember you've got a strap there, so if you want to use the strap, you can use the strap. Keeping that bottom low, so you feel those legs working. Drop the hands down onto the floor, push the bottom up towards the sky. And just holding it here in Uttanasana, just letting the head hang. Just make sure again the shoulders aren't up near the ears. Take a nice long deep breath in. Exhale, bend those knees, bring that bottom down. Bring that right hand maybe onto the brick I'm using, my brick I was using underneath my heels. Keep the bottom low, take the left hand down, drop the left hand round, and then bring the right hand round. Watch those shoulders. Use a strap if you need to use a strap. We've got a strap around. Be mindful. If you want an alternative for that, Jill, if you want an alternative, hand down, just lift the arm up. You don't have to do a bind there. And then exhale, release, and letting the head come all the way down. And just sinking through, heel toe the feet together. And fold forward into Uttanasana. Breathing in, lift the chest, and exhale. Bend those knees, breathe in, lift those arms all the way up towards the sky, stretch out into those fingers. And standing tall. Take a moment here because we've been down and now we're up, so we want to make sure that we don't get dizzy. If you feel dizzy, just to let the arms drop down. Take a moment in your breath. Stretch the arms up towards the sky, lifting up and ease over to the right hand side. Press out into the hands. And then exhale, coming all the way back. Breathing in. Exhale, over to the other side. And breathe in and coming back. Exhale, take the hands all the way down by the sides. We're going to just step forward with the left foot, pick up the right leg and place that right foot over the left knee and then come down into your squat here. So just into an Indian squat. Pressing out, let that right knee drop out. So it's very similar to what we did earlier on when we were on the floor. Find your balance, that right ankle on the left knee. And then breathe in and lift in. Bring that right leg forward. Step into the right leg, bring that left leg. And then exhale down into our Indian squat. So we're really kind of like stretching out into the glutes, keeping the body nice and lifted. If we kind of start to slouch, then we can lose our balance here as well. Remember, if you've got anything, I use my beam here a lot for support. If you've got a wall, you want to use a wall or anything, and then just hold it here, and then from here breathe in and lift the chest. Step forward to the end of the mat. Standing tall in Tadasana, roll the shoulders down and lift those toes up here as we stand at the end of the mat in Tadasana. So just lifting those toes, roll through those toes, come up onto those toes, lift up those heels. Feel yourself lifting up through your core at the same time. And then exhale, come down, lift the toes. Breathe in, lifting all the way up. Lift those arms up towards the sky. Come up onto those toes. And exhale, letting those hands come down and lifting those toes. Breathe in, roll up onto those toes. Lift those arms. And exhale, let the hands come all the way down towards the earth. Just dropping those hands all the way down, letting the head release. And then breathe in, lifting the chest. And exhale, releasing all the way down. So from here, we're going to, if you want to, you can have blocks underneath the hands or bricks underneath the hands. we're going to lift that right leg up behind you and pull the chest and the heart forward. So again, it's the shoulders away from the ears. You can soften into that left leg a little bit to pull that chest and the heart forward. And breathe here. And then just walking those bricks, if you're using bricks, back to that front foot. Step back into a nice deep lunge here. So we really feel that we're working into that runner's lunge. And I've got my hands on my bricks here, and we're bending into that left knee. Stretch out into that right thigh. And then exhale, straighten into that front leg. Let the head come down towards the knee. And then breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. And exhale, coming all the way back. And breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. And exhale, keeping the body nice and long. Keep that smile in your body. Breathing in, pull that chest and heart forward, dropping that right heel down onto the earth. So we're very deep, we're in a nice deep lunge here. Now I've got my blocks just on the outside edge of my left foot. So I'm going to take my right arm up towards the sky first of all and drop. So then we're going to drop into that left knee, drop down. So we're keeping this from the outside edge of the foot all the way along. Lift the right arm up and then turn the hand kind of in the way you're going, and then taking that arm so you come into a nice straight line and just hold it here. The arms extended up over the head and then rolling the body so you're coming into Parsvakonasana. Holding it here, breathe, keeping that line, dip it, good, lovely, nice angles there. It is called side angle, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. And then exhale, let that right hand come all the way down onto the floor. Straighten into that left leg. Walk the hands round to the centre. Push the heels out. Now we did that wide-legged stretch earlier on, didn't we? So we kind of really prepared our muscles, those brachialis muscles, the abductor and the adductor muscles here. From here, breathe in. As we exhale, walking the hands over to that left foot. Let the head come down towards the knee. As we hold it here. And as we do, kind of roll the right ribs in towards the left thigh. And just breathe. And then walk the hands all the way back towards the centre. Bend the right knee. So just shift the weight over to the right, coming down nice and low. Exhale, bend the left leg, coming over to the left, coming down nice and low. Come over to the right. And then from here we're going to walk the hands round back to that left foot into that nice deep lunge. Exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Actually, it's not back into it, it's our first downward facing dog of the practice today. So turn the tailbone up, letting that head feel nice and loose. I want you to pull up through the belly. Now again, be aware of those shoulders by the ears. Pull the neck nice and long, pull the shoulders back to the waist. Breathe in, ripple forward into your plank. And then exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Breathe in, come forward into your plank pose. Keep the chest and the heart forward. Bring the knees down onto the floor. And the chest and the heart comes forward. Flatten the toes. Bring the chest down, bottom slightly up there. Let the bottom come down. And we're going to lift, but not too high. Keep it low cobra here as we just lift. Breathing in, exhale, let the head come down towards the earth. And then breathing in, lift the chest a little bit higher. And then exhale. And just make sure we haven't got that scrunchy ear to shoulder pose going on. We're rolling the shoulders, bending into the back. Now from here, tuck in the toes under, push back into your downward facing dog. Let the head just rest. Let the head hang down. Fill the body with breath. Bring that smile to your face. Enjoy this lovely stretch. You don't have to get the heels down, but if they do come down, maybe just bring them down and then lift them up. Feel, play with that movement. And then from here, bend the knees. Walk, step or jump in between the hands. Releasing the head all the way down towards the earth. Breathing in, just slide the hands halfway up the shins. Lengthen into the spine. Exhale. Rolling all the way down. Bend those knees. Bring both arms up towards the sky. Lifting those arms. And exhale. Let the hands drop down by the sides. Lifting the toes. Roll onto the toes. Breathe in. Lift the arms up. And exhale. Let the arms come down, roll into the heels. Be mindful of how the sole opens up onto the floor. As you roll onto the toes, you can feel that shift of the weight. You can feel that movement through your body. So we're not just rocking backwards and forwards on the toes, we're kind of mindfully moving our bodies, lifting the toes so you feel that weight, opening up that plantar flexor. Pulling up through Mula Bandha, breathe in, lifting those arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring the heels down. This time we're going to take the hands all the way down towards the earth. Or if you're using your bricks and blocks, use your bricks and blocks here. Chest and heart comes forward. Take the weight into the right leg. You can bring those hands slightly forward here. And then we're going to lift that left leg up behind you. So just lifting the left leg and the chest and the heart comes forward. You can soften into that right knee there as well if you want to. So we feel that kind of extension and we're not over hyperextending into that right leg. And we can extend out into that left leg. And then from here, bringing the blocks back towards that foot. We're going to step back nice and deep. So we really come down into a deep, deep lunge here. So that leg's out quite a way. If you find that your bottom's up in the air here, just step back deeper, bend into the front knee. Chest and heart, and remember your shoulders up by your ears. Pull them through, extend into that heart, bend that front knee. Breathe in, chest and heart. Comes forward, exhale. Come back, head to knee if you can. Kiss those shins. Breathe in, chest and heart comes forward. We've done quite a lot of work into those hamstrings. And make sure that that weight is even between the back foot and the front foot. Come forward, back even. And just rippling forward with the breath. And exhale. And breathe in, coming forward. Bend that front knee now. Bring that back heel down on the floor. If you're, hopefully you line up your right heel with the left instep. And we're going to take the bricks onto the right hand side. Now I'm using 2 bricks here, so I'm going to elevate myself with 2 bricks. You don't have to have any bricks at all if you don't want to. But if you don't have any bricks, just making sure you're not doing sort of like a side triangle pose. We're actually looking to do a side angle pose. So from here we're going to push out into that back heel. Make sure you're not too wide. I'm slipping a bit here. And then bring that left arm up towards the sky. Turn the hand so it faces the way you're going. And bend into that right knee. Roll those left ribs all the way round. And the arm comes up over the head. Soften into the shoulders. Bend deep into that right foot. Into Parsvakonasana. Side angle bend. Making sure that arm's coming kind of like over the head. If it feels too much, you can just take the hand onto the hip. Hold it here. Breathe here into Parsvakonasana. Lovely. And be aware of this right hand. Now I'm probably got too many bricks there, so I probably just need one, because I found myself pressing up into my shoulder. The shoulder comes away from the ears. Exhale, let that left hand come all the way down towards the earth. Just going to move my bricks slightly out of the way as I step back into my downward facing dog. And just notice how that thigh feels as we press back, open up into those hands. Breathe in, come forward into your plank. Bring the knees down onto the floor. Chest and heart comes forward. Toes come flat if you want. You don't have to, you can have the toes. You can even have the feet up if you want to there. And then exhale, lower the chest down. Press into the hips. Lifting up, not too high. Exhale, release down. Now think about where are those shoulders in conjunction with those ears. Exhale, come up. Are we sitting the earlobes on the shoulders? Pull. Lengthen that neck. Exhale, come down. And then again, breathing in. Roll the shoulders all the way down the back. Try not to lock out the elbows. Exhale, tuck those toes under. Push back into your downward facing dog. Press into those hands. And just ease into those heels. Have a little bit of play and a little bit of movement here in our downward facing dog. Oh, I missed a bit, didn't I? I just remembered. Bring the right foot forward in between the hands. Let's bring that right, lifting that right leg. Bring that right leg forward. And then from here we're going to come round. I'm going to come round the other way so I can see you. So from here, pushing those heels out. Just hands down the bottom. Then we're going to take the hands over to the right foot leg and just letting the head come all the way down. Keeping the chest drawing down towards that thigh. Press out into the feet, into the edges of the feet. And then from here, bring the hands back to the centre. Bend into the left leg, stretch out through that right leg. And then breathe in, come back, hands are in the centre, shift that weight, right knee bends. Come back to the centre, over, left leg bends. And then from here, coming round, walking the hands all the way round. Press back into your downward facing dog. And then from here, bend those knees, bring those knees down onto the floor. Sit all the way back and just letting the chest come down in between those thighs. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as we release here. And then from here, breathing in, lifting all the way up, crossing those ankles, popping the bottom all the way over. Coming into a seated position. And you can sit, I'm just going to sit on a block. And sitting tall. Again, roll the shoulders up towards the ears so you know what it feels like. Exhale. And releasing down. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Let that breath flow. Listen to the sound of the breath, and each time you breathe out, just feel your body softening. And then without using the hands, think about breathing in through the left nostril and out through the right nostril. Breathe into the right nostril so it comes up all the way over to the left hemisphere of the brain. Take the awareness over to the right hemisphere and then exhale all the way down and out of the left nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril to the right hemisphere, over to the left and then out of the right. And then breathing in to the left, over to the right and then out of the left. And each time you breathe in, feel the body lengthen. Just allow yourself center with this Nadi Shodhana breath, using your hands or not using your hands, up to whatever you feel you want to do. And just allowing that breath to balance your body, to bring about this lovely sense of being, of wellness, bring about this sense of balance, balance that we need in this world at this moment. And then breathe in, and then exhale, let the chin just drop all the way down. And then lifting the head, and from here we're going to come down into Shavasana. So just taking a moment, if you want to stay seated, you can stay seated, but otherwise just dropping down into Shavasana as we let go here. Popping on some warm clothes if you want to use blankets. As we lie here, just feel yourself soften down into the earth. Feel the weight of the body just dropping down here now. And just feel the effects of that practice. Just feel the effects that that practice has had on your body. And if there's any areas of tightness still, just breathing into those areas. And each time we exhale, just letting those areas of tightness go away with your breath. So let's bring the awareness down into the toes, the soles of the feet. And as we breathe in, I just want you to imagine this beautiful warm wave just washing up through the body of relaxation, of letting go, all the way up over the feet into the knees. And then as you exhale, just let it wash all the way back and down. And then breathing in, just allowing that breath to wash all that relaxation to wash all the way up over the hips. Notice how the hips and the lower back are feeling the thighs. And then as you exhale, just all the way down to the feet. And then breathing in all the way up, kind of like to under the armpits, the chest and the heart center. Just feel that warmth just washing over you. And as you exhale, like the tide and the waves just washing away, just taking away everything you no longer need. And then from here, breathing in, washing all the way up over the shoulders and down the arms to the fingers. And as you exhale, just drawing that away. Breathe in, drawing all that wave up over the chin, the mouth, the nose, the eyes, right the way to the top of the head, just this wave of release. And as you exhale, just letting go. Just feel your body almost like a piece of driftwood just bobbing up and down on the sea as you breathe. And each time you exhale, just feel yourself dropping deeper further. Each time you exhale, just feel yourself releasing deeper, further. And then just take a moment just to be still, to be quiet, and to let go. And from here, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, just sigh the breath away. Feel your body just releasing, relaxing. And just bring some movement to your body, just stretching into your body. Just feel yourself waking up here. Bring the knees in towards the chest, just rocking the knees from side to side. And dropping those knees over to the right hand side. And then just very slowly and in your own time, just coming up into a seated position. Rolling the shoulders down the back, taking the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in, lifting those arms all the way up. As you lift your arms, lift the corners of your mouth. Exhale, let the thumbs come into the third eye, the lips, the heart. Look down towards the fingers. And breathe in, lifting the head. And have a lovely day today. And even if it's raining, just think that the rain is just washing away all our worries. So thank you very much for your practice this morning. Om Shanti.